People always want to come back around when they see you doing good. No, it's okay for you to do good, love them from a distance, and move on with your life, okay? Hey sis, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla, and on my page I talk about self-love and self-growth. So go ahead and click the subscribe button because I promise you are going to love it here. So in today's video, I wanted to touch on how to let go of the past completely so you can elevate and move on with your life. So without further ado, let's jump right into this video. So the first thing I want you guys to do is to let go of that guilt and stop feeling guilty for elevating and outgrowing certain people. Recently, a lot of people from my past have been coming back into my life, and I've been one of those people who I mentally matured and elevated before a lot of my friends. I'm 21 and a lot of my friends still haven't mentally elevated, and that's fine, but I feel like I've mentally elevated to a different point in my life, and a lot of old people have been coming back around, and I found myself feeling bad because I'm not really letting them in. Like I have a wall up that doesn't let them in anymore, and I had to ask myself, why do I have that wall up with them and not with new people? And sometimes that could be because a lot of these people from our past, they broke your trust. They're the ones who ended it. They're the ones who made the situation toxic. You know what I mean? A lot of these people, they're the ones who snaked us. So you gotta stop feeling guilty for not allowing them back in your life. I felt so guilty because I'm like, okay, I already forgave this person, so why am I blocking them off? And that's because you could forgive somebody but still not let them have access to who you are today. You can forgive somebody but still be like, okay, I want to like you from a distance. I'll send you love from a distance, but you can never be back in my life again. And that is okay. A lot of the times when you let people back in from your past who did you wrong, you're going to constantly have that feeling in the back of your head. You're not going to be able to trust them. You're always going to be thinking about that situation. And it's just going to hurt you in the end. You're going to be constantly in that state of hurt that you were in when you were dealing with that person. And that's what I was doing. And I had to realize it's okay to let go of certain people. Sometimes people don't deserve to access you again. They don't deserve to experience you again. Why do you think they deserve to experience the new you when you elevated past the time when they hurt you, when they did you so wrong? Sometimes it's okay to unbury all those feelings that you felt when you were dealing with them so you can really understand and realize why it is your spirit is feeling uneasy around them. You can't trust them anymore. So stop feeling guilty about that and understand that it's okay to elevate and grow. Stop being afraid to grow. It is okay to thrive and elevate. I used to be afraid to thrive and elevate up until recently because I felt myself changing. I felt my interest changing, and just the type of person I am was just changing. And I thought that was because maybe I'm depressed. Like I don't understand. It's some type of disconnect with a lot of people from my past. And that's because no, they just need to be gone. They just have to go. It's just time for them to go. It's nothing else to it. It's just you outgrew. Understand that it's okay to outgrow people and stop being afraid to elevate and grow. Stop dumbing yourself down so you can still have certain people around you. It's okay. If they don't understand you, if their mindset is not on what you're on, they're here mentally and you're here. It's okay. They'll catch up eventually, but you can't sit around and wait for them to catch up to you. No, you have places to be. You have places to go. Stop looking back. Keep going forward. I'm telling you, that's going to bring you so much distress, and it's going to bring you back times 10 when you look back at stuff that doesn't need to be there. A lot of times we reminisce on old feelings and we want to have that feeling again. And you have to understand that that feeling is never going to come back again because that's in the past. Everybody elevates, everybody changes. That was something of the past. Yes, it might be nostalgia, and yes, it might be something that's just comfortable for you, but understand that that's just supposed to be a memory. That's not supposed to be something that needs to still be around you, okay? So let that go so you can elevate and grow, and stop being afraid to shine your light, okay? The next thing you have to do is you have to be a little bit more open-minded to becoming the new you. This plays into allowing yourself to elevate. You have to open up your mind and open up to new experiences. Stop holding on to old experiences so you can open up and be available for new experiences. Sometimes our mental is so closed off on what happened in the past and what we were comfortable with that we don't realize that God has new experience for us to experience. We're not supposed to stay in the same state of mental the whole time. Why would we stay in one form of energy when there's millions of different forms of energy that we are supposed to go through? You know what I mean? Every part of our life is a phase and a lesson. Stop spending time dwelling on an old phase of your life, an old lesson that was already learned years ago. It's time for you to catch up. It's time for you to elevate. It's time for you to move on. Okay, sis? We're gonna stop looking at that old thing that happened 5 years ago. I understand certain stuff still hurts. Certain stuff we still keep dear to us because it was hurtful. It impacted our life. It did something to us. But you have to understand that. Let it go so you can move on, because you're only going to be hurting yourself in the end. And that leads me into the next thing. You have to learn how to forgive, but you also need to not let them back in. When you forgive, that helps you out, not the other person. I thought that too. I'm like, you know what? No, I don't forgive. And you know what I was doing? I didn't forgive that person, and I did every single thing out of spite towards that person. And I realized that I was just setting myself back times 10. They're not hurting by that. I'm hurting myself. And it's another thing when you forgive and you just give that person complete access to you again. No, you have to master the art of forgiving and moving on. Not forgiving and keeping them around, not forgiving them and just saying, you know, whatever. No, forgive them, but you need to move on with your life. Forgiving is for you, not for that person. And the way to forgive is to write out. I like to journal too. Write out that experience that you have with that person. It might bring you back to a sad point in your life, but you have to do it. It's like, it's gonna help. Write out the situation, everything that happened in that situation, okay? And when you write that out, you'll see why, one, you don't want that person back in your life at all. But you also need to write out what lessons it taught you, okay? When you write out the lessons it taught you, it'll kind of make you subconsciously thank them for having you go through that mini phase, having you go through that lesson. It's like, okay, I needed to know this. I needed you to snake me so I could learn this, okay? But I would never let you back in the way you were in before. And that's something I had to learn, because it was a disconnect with somebody that was in my life in the past that did me a lot of dirt and just did a lot to me. And I forgave them, but I made a mistake and I let them back in. And it was always closed off. Like, and they recently asked me, like, why are you acting like this? Like, you don't trust me. And I don't trust that person. And I have to understand that, you know what? I have to understand that when it's time to let go, it's okay. I don't have to have that person in my life completely. Sometimes people don't deserve full access to you, and that's okay. Forgiving is one thing, but I can't forgive you and let you be close ally to me like you were before. No, I learned my lesson, and so do you have to learn your lesson too. Your lesson is you'll never be able to be around me again, and you have to think about what you did to me, but I also forgive you. You know what I mean? I'm not going to bury and have resentment towards you, but I'm also not going to let you back in my life, you know? So we have to let go and grow. That's what this energy and that's what this year, these years to come, I want to be about for you guys. Letting go is helpful to growing and reaching your full potential, okay? A lot of you guys, we're close to success. We're just right there. And the last thing we need to do is let go of the past, okay? When people come back from your past, notice how it's usually when you're going through something good in your life. It's usually when you're thriving and you're focusing on you and you're elevating, okay? And that's usually when they come back around. You have to understand that that's a test. They don't need to be there. It's time for you to grow. People always want to come back around when they see you doing good. No, it's okay for you to do good, love them from a distance, and move on with your life, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. That's something that I need to hear, so I know it's something that anybody else out there would need to hear, because that's something that happens a lot. We always have people from the past coming back in our lives, and we're always left feeling like the bad ones because we have a disconnect where we don't want to let them back in. And I'm here to tell you that it's okay to not let them back in, okay? Don't let them back in. Yes, you might miss that feeling that you have when you're around them, but you also don't need to have them back around. What's the point, okay? So don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.